little bit.
In the last episode, we talked about Clamor. We went to Clamor, and while we were at Clamor, we actually did a run in the morning, got up early and went and ran with our group because most of them were there. So it was really fun to train with them. I've never been more nervous, though. I was so, dying. I was so nervous.
Were you just afraid of letting down the team?
Yeah, I was just... everybody seemed in my eyes like runners. And I've never been a runner.
I know.
I hate... okay, actually, I'll say I hated running. With a passion, hated running. And I never thought in a million years I would love it. And now I love it. And it's not just because of Ragnar, but I found out something really, really, really cool when I was training for Ragnar. And that was... I talked to my trainer, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be training for Ragnar. And she's like, okay, you need to be at least running a mile a day. You got to get going. And I was like, oh, no, I only have 2 months, which is a great amount of time to train for a big race like that, by the way, from scratch. You didn't
even start training until 2 months before the race?
But I had been physically active and going to the gym a lot before that anyway. But I started running, and I was like, I'm just not getting it. It's not fun. It hurts so much. I am miserable. And she actually helped me with getting set up with what's called a MyZone. And it's just like a heart rate monitor. But it is an app that connects to your phone. And you wear a strap underneath on your belly kind of. And it helps to monitor your heart rate. And it tells you what kind of zone you're in. If you're resting heart rate, or you're burning fat, or if you get into the red, you're burning muscle, which you should only do very minimally. Just it taught me when I was overdoing it. And then I ran with this heart rate monitor on for the first time. All the other times I would just run and die. I just felt like I would run and be like, oh, why do people like this? It hurts so much.
Well, you basically were sprinting.
I didn't realize.
Expecting to be able to sprint forever.
Because I was looking at everyone else going, that's how they do it. I just have to run like everybody else. So I'll just do what they do. So I'd do it, and I would die after 1 minute. And then I was like, I can't do this. Why do people like this?
This is so painful, so uncomfortable. I'm dying. I hate this.
So I would go. So once I put the heart rate monitor on, I realized I was in the red, which is burning muscle, almost instantly, because I was just not used to running, and I had no idea what pace to go at. Right. So I was like, oh, and I told my trainer, and she's like, well, don't run in the red. Make sure you're either in the green or, in the green or the yellow, because the yellow is burning fat, getting your heart rate really good, and you're
not too hard.
Yeah, it was not working your body too hard. So I was like, okay. So I started running and just staying in the green and the yellow. And oh my goodness, I started to love running. And this is you have no idea how big of a deal this is to me. I hated running my whole life, all the way up until just last year.
I didn't like running either my whole life until I trained for Ragnar, actually back in 2012.
2012.
I ran Ragnar. And I didn't have a heart rate monitor.
No.
But I was just listening to my body. And anytime my body was if I started dying, then I would just walk. And then when I felt better, I'd run again. And I never was running fast. It was always just kind of an easy run.
Yeah.
So to me, I enjoyed that because I wasn't pushing myself too hard.
Yeah.
But I think you were just no, I have to be running up to this level from the beginning.
Because you don't understand. I'm so slow that if I were to run at his pace even him just running from doing nothing and just starting to run, he's way faster than me. So I just thought I was doing it wrong. And I thought I was just really, really, really bad at it. But in reality, my pace is just much slower than everyone else. Right. And so I thought I was terrible at running, and I hated it because it hurt so much. But really, I just have a slower pace, and that's okay.
And you had to learn to listen to your body. And actually, as you train more, following that heart rate monitor,
then I got better and better and better and better. And then I was like, oh, this is how people can run fast. Or then I also started to get a runner's high, which I've heard about my whole life and never experienced up until last year.
It's exhausting.
Are you kidding me? What about this is fun? There's no enjoying. Yeah, nothing enjoyable about that. But once I started enjoying the runner's high and feeling that, then I was like, oh, this is why people like it.
Mm-hmm.